the Royal Navy operated 94 submarines and lost 47. There's no doubt that the German African Corps would have reached the target and would have captured the Suez Canal.
Hey, what's up, BBQ? I don't know if anyone's here, but hopefully somebody that needs to find a few things out will view this later.
They also lost 73 boats and 2,000 men.
These are the boats where...
So just give me 1 second, please.
Not an award that's given away lightly. The iconic submarines. If you wanted to be a submariner in the Second World War, you wanted to be on a T-boat.
With 31 years of action under her belt, the T-Class has outstanding service length. Fear factor is high. Combat performance is high. Innovation is average. Putting this...
We're going to rip this off one more time. I want you to get a little beat going with your hands, all right?
Alright, so here's how it's going to work. It's going to be this time every day unless I have a bigger consensus that it should be at another time. I haven't had any messages yet asking for that, so the reason I chose this time is because it's the middle of the day for me, and I would say, I think this is, I mean, off the top of my head, this is probably the best time. But we do have a consensus going here, and let me show you the let me go far. Alright, so far, trying to get a better consensus of when everybody's online. So there you go. So we'll have better results after we get a few more results in. It's gonna expire in let's see here, 2 hours. Alright, so basically I'm putting this together really at the top of my head right this second. I'm sorry, man. This I've had a lot to do and everything, but I can still do it. So I'm going to start with castle basics. Actually, game basics. So some of you probably already know this. Maybe all of you, but I'm going to still say it just in case. This game is unlike any other game I've seen. I know they're out there, but I've just never played them before. So basically, in this type of game, you have realm evolution. Okay, what that means is that the realm evolves over time. So if you have high ambitions when you start this game, then you only have a certain amount of time to achieve those ambitions, or else you have to let go of those ambitions and set them lower, because you can't set them high anymore. If you enter the game without ambitions, then you end up liking the game. Trust me, you'll end up making some and probably start over in another realm. So it's important to understand realm evolution. there's probably things I should be adding to this, but the realm evolution aspect, definitely give it some thought, because we've overcome some big milestones. This is my 4th realm, and we've overcome some great milestones I haven't accomplished before as an alliance. So we're doing really good. I've never fought for the royal crown here, so I don't know how that works out. But we do have a member that is used to be a king of a realm, an older realm, so we've definitely got his counsel for when we're ready. Just as a request, while I'm here, I'd like to ask everybody in the Alliance to donate flowers to Mob, and I'll tell you why. Because Mob has always been one of our friends, and we have never, ever had problems with Mob. Never. They deserve every bit of support we can give them. So if you wouldn't mind donating flowers there, if not, that's cool, whatever you want, but that's my request. So I'm going to show things on King Slime account because he gave it to me. He gave it to me, and I'm also giving away a couple farm counts. So stay tuned for that. So let's see here. The realm clock. I went over this a little bit yesterday, but I'm going to go over it again. Everybody in this realm, I think even in the game period, goes by one clock that everybody can see. Everybody can see this clock. And you just click on your photo in the top left hand corner. It doesn't matter if you're in your castle or on the map. And right there you can see under your signature, server time, UTC, Tuesday, June 9th, 1807/07/2020. Everybody sees that same time. So whenever you're referring to a time that you want others to coordinate with, please always use this time. Hey, what's up, Alex, Alina? So, yeah, that's really important, the UTC time. There's 3 different types of castles you can have. You can have, well, everybody's going to have a primary castle. And then you're going to either have a farm account or a reinforcement castle. The reinforcement castle is what I should be using this for because it's in BBQ. So what I would do is I would just use it, I would build a good reinforcement army and then send it to my butcher account whenever I'm going to be going to sleep or something, you know. Then I'll always have reinforcements there. Now, of course, a farm account, that's pretty obvious, but I think a lot of people aren't really understanding with the farm account how it works. And I'm going to get into a lot more detail with farm accounts, but just very briefly for the purpose of explaining the different types of castles you can operate here. So the farm account is different from a regular castle because you're not upgrading all of your buildings, right? The only thing you're mainly doing is building tier 2 cavalry. That's all you're doing is building tier 2 cavalry. So even if you get up to this level, don't worry about it. You won't get up to that level with a farm account because you don't want to upgrade your barracks that high unless you have to in order to upgrade your castle. So tier 2 cavalry is cheap to make. It doesn't take long. They're easily replaced, and they're the ones that have the greatest load. So you can see here above the special abilities it says load 18, right? Infantry has 10, archers have 10, and Magi's have 6. Okay, from those tiers. Actually, cavalry has 16 tier 5. So your cavalry is always going to have the biggest load. So in other words, when you are on your primary account and you need to harvest your farm, then what you want to do is add as much cavalry as you can so that you can harvest as much as possible at one time. I think with my butcher account right now, I can harvest, like, I don't even really know, to be honest with you, 1.3, 1.4 million total, maybe 1.5 million, because I've been really concentrating on tier 2 cavalry. Now, again, my butcher account, I'm making a bunch of tier 2 cavalry. I think I got like 25,000. And that's why. Because I want to have plenty of tier 2 cavalry to go gather with, to go mine gems with, and to harvest my farms with. So that pretty much covers the different types of castles. Gameplay. Okay, so there's I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. There's 2 different types of game players here. I don't know, maybe I should say 2 different type of leaderships in this game. I guess I should really say. So one of them is getting creative, okay? Or maybe not even getting creative. Let me just give you an example, okay? And I know this is probably a shitty example, but just because of the ethics of it. Okay, so the developers let us hit gatherers, right? They let us attack gatherers. They let us attack miners, right? These things. Those things. And where's some more? You know, these things. We can attack them if we want. But everybody says, no, they're off limits. So that's like the players coming together and making up their own rules, okay? That's one type of gameplay, all right? That's one type of leadership, and I will agree to a certain point that is, you know, the way it should be. No tile attacks, okay? And then there's players that that use the game itself and plan around it, okay? So like people, here's another example. A leader might recruit people and then promote their ranks based on seniority, okay? And then you have the way I do it. I promote ranks on activity, and then for officer and deputy ranks, responsibility. And it's not a lot. I make sure it's not a lot of responsibility. If I see that you're starting to get into the game, yes, it is to try to get your foot in the door. I am trying to get you interested, right? But that's all I require. Okay, and then most of the time people end up liking the game and they give it more of their time, and that's what I'm always hoping for. So I want to stick to the basics here, and I don't want to make these videos too long. It's been online 13 minutes so far. Okay, so that's your basic 2 different types of gameplay, and the reason I say that is because I want everybody to understand the ranks, for one. Okay, the ranks are important. This is the way the developer designed this game. Okay, here's all the different types of ranks and what they're able to do. So member and elite ranks are able to mail all. They're able to make group messages, check other alliances, and alliance help. I don't know what alliance help is. And then when you become an officer, you're able to invite members to join and delete members. You're able to approve members applicants and change ranks. And then when you become a deputy, you're able also to change the alliance motto, the recruitment method, and activate elite adventures. So only deputies can activate the elite adventures, and that falls on the responsibility of the commander. So basically what I've done here for the ranks is I've looked at all these different permissions that you can do. Okay, so for example, the officer. Let me say this different. I'll take the deputies first, and I'll look at their different offices. So commander, architect, diplomat, and recruiter. So let's take the recruiter for example. The deputy recruiter can change the recruitment method, and officers, which he has under him, can delete members and invite to join, and also verify, approved membership applicants. So that's the tasks that are divided up between them. Okay, so same for commander. The commander activate elite adventures, and he has officers under him that has special things that they can do. But for the most part, when all the officers and deputies, to put it short and in a nutshell, they stick to their own office. They don't step on each other's toes. Okay, so Farkwood, the recruiter, isn't going to start activate elite adventures because he's not the commander. And the commander isn't going to change the recruitment method because he's not the recruiter. So that's how I use these ranks. We have room for 3 more officers, which I do need filled. The elites are always just as they come. If you're talking in the Alliance chat and you're participating in activities and stuff, then you're going to become an elite if there's room. And if you're just playing the game and not really talking much, but you do donate to technology, and you do what a regular member is supposed to be doing, then you stay as a member. So once in a while I will go through here and look at the history. I never go by the daily or weekly, just the total history, because that's where you get the real stats at. And I'll look to make sure everybody's donating. Now, as you get closer to the bottom of the list, you're not going to see many of the older cats here. But, like Bite the Dust, I don't know why. Maybe he is new. I can't quite remember. But Chickspuzz needs to be donating. So, one more thing I guess I'll show you is, I've already showed everybody about resource and troop management, right? So if you don't have resources in your castle and you don't have troops in your castle, there's not going to be any reason for anybody to attack you. There's just not going to be any reason. Why? Unless they just want to put you on fire and see if it pisses you off. Sorry, excuse my language. It's not going to do anything to you. So always send your troops to the fort, or send them out to gather far away when you go to bed. And make sure they go through the middle of the map. If you go through the middle of the map, they go slower. I don't know how many of you have noticed that, but right here in the middle. It's like swamp area, so everybody goes really slow. See, look at that. Okay? So what you do is you want to draw a mental straight line from your castle through the middle and as far over as you can. Right? That looks about right. Maybe a little bit over. Yeah, something like that. And send them to a gem mine. You won't have to worry about them for 10-12 hours, right? Resource management. go to your shop. Go to your shop and sell. Like, you know, you can sell your stuff. I've already sold some. I don't want to sell my iron. But, it only costs 10 gems to refresh. You know, if you're loaded on gems, it wouldn't hurt to refresh it once in a while. And plus, you know, look to see what you got. Because this is important for gem management. Alright, so that's one way to sell get rid of your stuff. Another way is to recruit. You can recruit, start research, technology, promote your troops. What else can you do? You know, you want to get rid of your resources as much as possible. And you might ask, well, how do you save them? You got your item pack. That's your bank. That's your savings account right here. This is your savings account. I don't have much here because this ain't my primary account, but on my butcher account, I have like 3,000 packs of wood, these wood crates. I have like 3,000, over 3,000, I think 3.5 thousand. But it's from attacking monsters, and you know, if you're needing to save up and make a big upgrade, get some peace shields. Be ready, you know. And when you spend your gems, here's the trick to gem management. Okay, so let's say I need a shield, right? I don't know if I don't think this account has any more shields. He just activated a 72-hour one, but it looks like I do. Yeah, okay. But let's say I didn't have any. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, probably, is look in your merchant ship. Okay, see if there's any for sale, because they will be cheaper than if you get them straight at the shop. Make sure there ain't none that you can exchange for. These ships right here, make sure there's nothing that you can, you know, make sure there's none in here you can bargain for. And a little trick to these things is if you negotiate enough until it flashes, it will end up flashing. Unless it's a really hot item, I've noticed it. You have a harder time doing it. If it gets up to close enough, I guess, just for some reason, there we go. And then once you buy it, his rage goes back down to 0, right? So try to get it to flash. But that's another good way to spend your gems. I really, to be honest with you, I only use gems mostly for shields, for shielding up. So, anyways, I'm gonna let that be it, and if anybody's watching and has any questions, then let me know now, and I can answer some questions. $329 stamina. What? Whoa. Yeah, that's kind of weird. What? Bro, that's current stamina, bro. I don't understand that. That's got me. I'm really tripped up over that. I really don't know what that's all about. That's really crazy. Oh my gosh, and I'm live right now. I have no idea what that is. And I'm not, trust me, I'm not breaking into the game somehow, man. I don't think you can with this game. On Battle of Warships, man, there were hackers on that game. It was so pathetic, man. It was so pathetic. I don't think you can hack this game. But, that's really weird. I'm going to be having Q&A at the end of every class. I'm going to do this every day. And, I'm going to teach something for, you know, approximately 15-20 minutes. And then I'll have Q&A after that. So, in the future, if any of you have any questions, comments or concerns, then just write them down or something, and or go ahead and type them in, but I won't get to you until I'm done with my little lesson. So I'll hang out for a few minutes, and if anyone wants to say anything, I'm here. Okay, so it's really easy. All you have to do is stack them. So basically, you just use them. You know, like you just use a golden hammer, and then when you use it, you just use another one, and then another one, as many as you want to stack. Because that's the good thing about the golden hammers, they stack on top of each other. So I got like, 2 days, 9 hours left on this bottom one. Yeah, that's how you do that.
All right, give it up, Tony Baker.
Let me see if I can, oh, there we go, yeah. Hey Alex, are you still here? How to do a reinforcement troop. Okay, so hold on one second. Alright, so the best way for reinforcement troops, and I'm gonna put a disclaimer out here, everybody, okay? I'm not an expert at this game. I know a lot about it. I've been playing it about a year. Again, this is my 4th realm, and I do know a lot about it, but I'm not an expert. So I'm sure there's other people that have other opinions than me, and perhaps I'm just not having much self-confidence. I don't know, but alright, check this out. Your archers, bonus damage against magi. Okay, now if you notice, this is your defense. They always start you out with defense troops. Offense, defense, offense, defense, offense, so on and so forth. So, your archers, okay, so, I've actually met players that said that they didn't like defense golems, okay, and I understand why. I do understand why. But if you don't want to have defense golems, then more than likely you're the type of player that likes to go out and fight a lot, right? So in that case, you wouldn't want to have defense golems because you have to heal those defense golems, right? You can also make defense golems, and then just, if you decide one day that you want to go fight, then you can just not heal your defense golems once you get attacked, right? And you can just keep on not healing your defense golems until you're ready to settle back down for a while. But the reason I say this is because the person that you want to reinforce will more than likely, if they're playing this way, they'll have defense golems, okay? And your defense golems, like, let's see here, hit points 524. Let's see, let's look at the hit points and the attack. 524, 101, 524, 101, 524, 101. Oh, I can't look? Oh, I'm upgrading my wall, that's why. But they have more, defense golems have more hit points and more attack, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why they take so long. It's either they take so long to make, or you can't make a bunch of them at a time, I think is what it is. It takes longer because of that. But anyway, so that's basically going to be like their meat, right? That's going to be what they tank with. The person you're reinforcing, that's going to be what they tank with mostly, is their defense golems. And if they have troops there, then they will have, their infantry, which is, out of the 4 troops you have, that's what you tank with, is your infantry mostly, and then your cavalry is next. But your cavalry doesn't really get strong until you hit a higher tier. Like, the tier I'm at, I think is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think is where they start to actually become worth anything. So, okay, so the person you're reinforcing, they're going to have defense golems, they're going to have infantry, they're going to have cavalry, and then they're going to have their own archer and magi. So what you want to do is send archers and magi, okay? Because if you can send them an entire army of archers and magi, then this is what you're going to end up doing. Okay, so they're going to already provide the meat, they're going to provide the tank because it's their castle, and you're going to provide the long distance range support. Okay, so those are the highest archers I can create. So what I'd want to do is I'd want to create, I'd want to split an entire march up in two. So 50% would be archers, 50% would be magi. And then you take those archers and you split it in half. So 25% will be tier 7 archer and 25% will be tier 6 archer. Now look at what you're doing here. The skill set for the tier 6 archer, bonus damage against infantry. Okay, so what you're doing is you're providing support to their infantry, the person you're reinforcing, or rather should I say the brother or sister you're reinforcing. And basically they have their own hit points, their defense, their own attack and everything. So you're getting them from long range and you're attacking the infantry. And that's what you want to hit, is the opponent's front lines. Okay, so while they're hitting the infantry and they got a bonus against the infantry, your tier 7 archers are going to have a bonus against magi. Right? And then you want to create 25% tier 7 magi, which has a bonus against the cavalry. And then tier 6 magi, which has a bonus during city defense. Okay, now this is tier 6. So it's those skill sets. I guess, probably for reinforcing. Yeah, you'd do that. You'd have the defense towards the city. I was thinking something else. I'm sorry. Yeah, so you'd have 25% tier 6 archers, 25% tier 7. Now let's say you have a different tier, right? You're not as big as that, so you just go by the one you can make and then the previous one. So if all you can build is a tier 4 archer, then you'd want to make 25% tier 4 archer, 25% tier 3 archer, and then 25% tier 4 magi and 25% tier 3 magi. So that you're splitting up your skill sets between the defense and offense. So I hope that answered that right. Let me see here. I hope I answered that right. If you were asking like how to actually reinforce, then I'm going to, like I say, we're gonna do several videos, one every day except for Saturday. And I'm gonna go over a lot, so it's probably gonna last like 2 or 3 weeks, and then after that, I may keep getting on just to be social, but I'll mostly refer to, I'll reference older videos, so people who want to start like the courses or whatever you want to call it, they can go through the series of videos, and then if they want more, then they can go one-on-one with me during my social times. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. Let me make sure there's no more questions. It's 2:39. I don't mind staying longer, but let's go ahead and count on. And again, y'all might not be able to come and join, and that's fine. That's why I'm making sure they're going to stay up for you to be able to watch later. But generally, they're going to last from 2 to 3, or 2 to 2:30, which is 1800 hours to 1830 hours UTC time. Every day except for Saturday, usually between 2 and 2:30. And if it draws out longer than that, it's going to be because there's people that have questions and comments and stuff. So I appreciate you guys watching, man. And I've got a lot of plans for us. So let's all pull together, keep practicing at rallies. And I'm liking the activity. I've been noticing all the activity you guys are doing. And man, it's just what we want. It's exactly what we want. So you guys are all doing such a great job, man. I appreciate it.